Hey folks, welcome to a Perch of Birds podcast. This is episode 25. I'm super stoked to bring this one to you guys, a band that kicks monster ass on stage and brings a positive message to not only every song but also each and every show, The Anchor. We were on location with these dudes talking about signing to their new label, Manic Cat Records, what it takes to write their amazing songs, their influences, and what band life is all about. I love talking one-on-one with inspiring people like this and finding out they're as real as you would hope they would be in person. Truly some awesome humans. These guys are on tour this summer on their Kids in America tour. Yeah, it's Kids in America tour. All the dates and info on that tour and anything else The Anchor, including being able to pick up some of their music, is at theanchor-band.com and on Facebook at facebook.com/The Anchor Band. Of course, you can find them on all major streaming platforms like Spotify and iTunes, which you will find their newest album, Make It Last, which is pretty badass. It's an EP. They got another album in the works, guys, so make sure you check out their social media to follow the progress of that. Ladies, dudes, this was honestly a challenging cast for me to edit. I was on location at Legends Bar and Grill in Colorado Springs. Shout out to you guys. Thank you for having us there. This was the second to last show on the Anchor's last tour, so I hope you guys are forgiving me a little bit. I'm getting better at this. At least I think so. Any critique is also welcome. Lindsey, all you guys, thank you so much for hanging out with my wife and I. It was a fucking blast. You guys are truly pursuing greatness. Cheers to your success. So we're looking to try to get one of these big ass metal bands coming along, and you guys may not think so, but we actually feel like you guys are going to be like the next Suicide Silence in terms of the impact you guys have. Bear with me. I'll take it. But I love your guys' lyrics because they're very positive, very uplifting, and I love the fact that you guys all jump on board with, and I don't know who writes the lyrics, but you guys would all jump on board. Do you write all the lyrics?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of a collaborative thing. I write the lyrics, but I'll kind of like talk with the band about like ideas and stuff. Like Make It Last was actually from Ryan's brain, and I just kind of like talked with him about that, and then I wrote the lyrics from there. And like West Archer is from Corey, and we kind of get together on concepts.
So that answers a question for me, essentially, because I was wondering how you guys write these songs, because they seem like you guys all are fucking throwing in to be like very positive and uplifting for everything that you guys are doing.
Yeah.
So you guys do this as a collaborative effort. That's awesome. Do you guys use like past experiences to write your music? I mean, how do you guys?
A little bit. I think she still writes like 70% of the songs.
Okay.
But then on every album, she'll be like, "Hey guys, like what's something that's going on in your life right now that you connect with one of these songs that we've written that I can write about?"
Right.
So
you guys draw on past experiences, current experiences, fucking whatever's going on.
A lot of relationships and like, I don't know, self motivating
like in like
things.
personal adversary that you've had to like overcome and things like that.
Adversity.
And it's just adversity, whatever.
Yeah.
Shut
I
up.
think a lot of-
I don't need your negativity in my life, Corey.
You're right.
A lot of it's just like life lessons and
Yeah.
like the journey that you have to take in order to learn those. So.
Absolutely. Well, and I like the fact that you guys talk about how your guys' music can be seen as a home for people that may be struggling with those same kind of issues. You know what I mean? And kind of bring that full circle with the songs you guys do, because it doesn't seem like I don't see a lot of like, death metal. As much as I'm like a big fan, like I'm wearing a Black Dahlia shirt, a lot of people, it's hard to like, so why do you like that music, young man? And then you try to you show them a song. You're like, dude, you can't hear the lyrics. I can't understand what they're saying. Okay, so you lay down the lyrics, and it's talking about like rape, blood, pillage. You know what I mean? And it's like, bro, I'm telling you, it's like rap, bro. Like it's not for real. Like they don't want you to go out rape, blood, and pillage. But with the Anchor, you guys talk about literally going out and overcoming your obstacles and creating challenges that are positive ones, essentially by putting yourself around people that are good. You know what I mean? So kudos to you guys, and that's why I think you guys are going to be so big and have apparently gotten so big. Got signed with.
Manic Cat Records.
Manic Cat. I was going to call it Music Cat. Manic Cat. Shout out to Manic Cat. So those guys, man, when did you guys sign on with those guys? That was recent, right?
Yeah, it was, oh my God, like 6 months ago.
February.
Pretty recent.
Yeah, and then you guys put out the album right behind that, right? And then that was an EP, so it's an extended play. Are you guys working on anything else that we can talk
so
about?
we're going to be going into the studio in July.
Okay.
So we're going to be working on our next album, which we haven't decided yet if it's going to be a full-length or an EP yet. We're kind of still up in the air, but
Sure.
we're going to try to mix A World Ahead and Make It Last, and kind of take the elements that people really liked about both of those albums and
Sure.
mesh them. Just because Make It Last was kind of like our stab at like pop punk. Like it was just something that we were feeling really inspired by at the moment.
Yeah,
Like
definitely.
the
it was,
metalcore version of pop punk.
it was definitely different.
Like our
right.
take on it. And, and it was really cool. Like I think it was awesome that we did that because it really challenged us as like musicians and to really think outside of our comfort zone. But like
Right.
our hearts are definitely in metalcore.
Well, and your progression seems to have gone in that direction, but you didn't lose it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
totally.
Like, because I saw that the skill increased, and that was the thing that I was pointing out is like I think your range became better.
Yeah.
And if that just comes with experience, then so be it. Your speed got faster. All your guys' fucking speed got faster, especially that the bass, dude. Like, I don't know how
Thanks,
you,
man.
I don't know how that shit doesn't hurt, bro. Like, just some of that stuff's twisty, man. But yeah, it's a really good. And if you guys check out the Anchor, make sure you check out everything from 2013 on, because there's other anchors out there. And the 2000, I was listening to this one on the way up here, and it was a 2009 album release for the Anchor, and I was like, what the fuck am I listening to?
Oh, was it the El Papitar one?
No, that's the
I was
Mexican
told
band I
about
told
that
him
one.
about.
Oh,
But
yeah.
he was listening to the punk band from Texas.
Yeah.
Oh, that-
It's all over.
There was one time where there was somebody who announced, or that band in Texas announced a show, like when we first became a band. And so like they announced a show and it was in like Texas, and this was before we even had toured. And people messaged us like, "Oh, we're gonna come to your Texas show," and we were like, "What?
What?
Right.
What do you mean Texas? Like we're not
Calling
going to
people
Texas."
like, are we booked in
Pre-order.
Texas?
Oh God.
Pre-order. No, you just send them like a pre-order link, dude. Just send them the link. They'll spend money. Just let them do it.
Yeah, there you go.
Exactly.
So okay, so don't listen to that band, but we can find you guys all over. I mean, you guys have essentially hit what would be in 2018 mainstream. You guys are on iTunes, you guys are on Google Music, you're on YouTube, and the way that I found you guys was through Lindsey's page with an article that Mashable or somebody did, or it was a reshare, but it was from you making food.
Oh, yeah, Metal Kitchen.
So talk to me about Metal Kitchen, because you guys use it in your bio, and I didn't know how much you guys, because I noticed that like like you guys did your Suicide Silence release, you did it through your page. So why through your page for everything instead of the Anchor?
Well, the YouTube channel was kind of a huge accident.
Okay,
So
that's what it seemed like.
Yeah. I
okay.
mean, we never like set out to be like, oh, we want to be a YouTube channel, but it was Corey was trying to do recordings because we just were kind of going through this whole thing of like, we need to try to do this ourselves and be self-made and like be like a DIY band. So like Corey bought all this recording equipment and he needed to practice.
Right.
So we were like, let's just do YouTube covers and like
Right.
put them on YouTube and see what happens. And then the first video that actually took off was it was a
Lamb of God making
like
the
Moss to
shepherd's
Flames.
pie? Oh, was that the
no,
first
there
one?
was
Okay.
one before Metal Kitchen. It was like Moss to Flames, and I had royally messed up that video so bad that people couldn't tell if it was real or not because it was like the lips didn't match. And
Did they call it audio syncopation? Right? Isn't that the
Something
thing?
like- I mean,
Because I'm just fucking learning this. It's tough. Yeah, it's tough.
well, it's because we did the recording and then the video separate.
Okay.
And
Because we used to do the video and recording together.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so we would have all this equipment set up to make sure that like the audio and the lips matched up perfectly, because we were like, we don't want people to think that we're faking it and blah, blah, blah. And people thought that she was faking it anyways. So we were like, fuck this shit. Like,
just do it
let's just
easier.
like make it a lot easier.
Yeah.
And that's whenever we started recording audio and video separate.
Okay.
And
That
that
was our
video,
first try.
we like really fucked it up. But like in such a good way that it got really popular.
So it was like it got 100,000 views in like 2 days, and we were like, "What is happening?"
Right.
Yeah. So then after that happened, we came up with the Metal Kitchen idea, and that was just like this stupid idea. Like I remember sitting in our apartment, like this is so dumb. Like when we were recording it, we're like, this is so dumb. Like nobody's gonna like this. Is the
Well,
dumbest thing.
but
ever.
we were laughing our asses off.
Right.
Like, because some of the lines were like, and it's really hard to match up a recipe to somebody else's.
I was
like,
gonna say, man, like the way that
like,
you guys, and if you guys that are listening have never seen it, you guys got to look up. Is it what is it bannered under? It's Metal Kitchen,
It's
or
just
is
Metal
it?
Kitchen, yeah.
So the girl that screams, or what? What's the other
Screaming.
one?
Huh?
What is the other
Oh,
type?
Screaming Like a Girl.
Screaming Like a Girl.
Yeah, that's
okay, I'm
the
getting
other
them
one.
confused, and I apologize. Yeah.
No,
So if you
that's
guys YouTube those, you're gonna pull up Lindsey doing her thing as well as the Anchor doing their thing, and you guys made all that music. That's not. So that's you guys actually playing the covers as well.
Yeah.
That's fucking legit, man. See, and that was one of the questions I wrote down. See, got it. Check.
There you go. Check that box off. But yeah, we uploaded it, and we had no expectations of it doing anything. And we actually went up to my dad's house for New Year's Eve, and I think it was Ryan texted us, and he was like, "Dude, do you see what's happening?" And we like looked it up, and we're like,
Oh
"Holy
my God,
shit!"
yeah.
Like overnight, the video got like 50,000 views,
Yeah.
and we were like, "What is happening?"
It's one of those, and then I shared you guys to everybody in the office.
Yeah.
So
So I mean, and then it was like by the end of the week, it was up to like 1 million views, and it was
Right.
like the rest was history from there. But I mean, that was like our huge launching pad into
Sure.
like really having a platform for the Anchor and like the Linzey Rae thing to
Sure.
really.
Well, I mean, it makes sense. Like, you got to find a way to move the fucking thing forward. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? And if you get some sort of a success like that, fuck yeah, roll with it.
Yeah,
So then,
totally.
did you get a lot of trolls starting out?
Absolutely.
I mean, specifically being that I think that actual metalheads are not fuckheads. The majority of them, they play like it, but they're not really. Usually they're cool cats. But I think the ones that are kind of like your, I'm gonna throw some punches, but like your Disturbed kind of crowd, like your Five Finger Death Punch guys, they're metalheads when they're at the show.
Yeah.
They just happen to get a ticket at like a festival, Those kind of cats I think are the ones that you'd get more trolls from. And I know that the reason why I say that is I used to work at at the Journal Pavilion. It's like a big venue in Albuquerque, and we used to have a lot of shows. I would direct the fucking traffic for all these shows at like 16. The metalheads were cool. The country guys were assholes. I've never almost been ran over in my life more times than at a fucking country show, which is saying something, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then I've been a metalhead since I was a youngster, so I've been to a bunch of shows at Sunshine Theater. Shout out to those guys. But watching you guys do your thing, and I think that the main drive is that there's a lack of girls in metal, and I thought it was really cool that when we found you, I can count on one hand how many other bands are successful that have girl front. For one, it comes down to talent, I think, because I used to be a metal guy to where I was screaming on the microphone, and you have to learn how to scream.
Yeah.
And whether or not that ends up being something that comes to fruition, you're going to get trolls either way.
Yeah, and I think that was the hardest part too, is that I hate to like pull that whole card, but metal can be a really, really sexist scene, and there was such a shock value to what we were doing that I don't think people necessarily wanted to like even believe that it was like a legit thing.
Right.
So I mean that's where a lot of the hate came from, just because people didn't want to accept the fact that like a girl can do it.
Right. Well, and especially do it at the level that you are, because you're doing something that really takes some time to learn. And did you learn that as you were going through the band, or when did you learn how to scream? I mean, when did you stop losing your voice when you started screaming? Because I know that's the big thing. When did you learn how to do it right?
So not till recently, actually. I was originally on bass.
Okay.
When the Anchor first started, and we had this sold out show with Hatebreed, and our vocalist couldn't do it, and we tried to find a fill-in, and like we couldn't find anybody else to do it, and I did backups, and I was like, well, I guess I can do it, because it's the show is like 3 days away, I'll just do it.
Yeah.
And after the show, Corey and Ryan were like, well, we've just made the decision, like, you're on vocals. Like, I don't care what and I actually wanted to go back to bass. I was like so salt about being a vocalist.
Really?
For like a month into it.
Really?
I didn't want to do it.
Huh.
I mean, now that I'm in it, I'm like, okay, it makes
guys,
sense.
was she fucking killing it out the door?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Where did this come from, though? Like, was she just like one day she was just
One
drunk
day,
and pissed?
I remember we were at Ryan's apartment, and it was with some of our old members, and she was like, it was with Jared, I think, our really, really old vocalist, and she was like, I can scream. I think I can. Let me like show you guys. And I remember she screamed in the apartment, but she was so shy about it. She like covered her mouth, and she like didn't want anybody to like really hear it. And that's whenever we were like, okay, you should do screams on backup while you're on bass. So, and I mean, she did more like bellowing.
Yeah, well, because I
stuff.
grew up listening to The Chariot.
Okay.
And it's, it was the same thing of like, you sing along to stuff in your car, and like I just listened to like thrash metal and
Right.
like metalcore growing up. So that I was just like, oh, I just,
Hell yeah.
whatever, and I just was like messing around in my car, but I never like thought I was like good at it by any means.
Right.
Like I never was like, I'm going to be a vocalist and learn how to scream.
Little did you know, Lindsey. Little did you know.
Little did I know. Little 15-year-old me would be so excited.
So what? So then you take lessons? What did you do?
No, I've never had a lesson.
Are you fucking serious?
I've never had a single one in my entire life.
So I watched your video where you try to teach your mom how to scream.
Yeah.
And I was watching it and I was like, God damn, like you just go from A to B, and in the middle ground you're trying to teach, but I think it just comes with not fucking your voice up, because so I took Melissa Cross's class on how to scream.
Okay.
I don't know if you're savvy with Melissa Cross at all,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
she's the one that taught Randy Blythe and all those guys. Well, didn't teach them. Don't let me fucking misspeak. Don't let me misspeak. Hone the craft.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So she and in that I learned, and I sat there and literally was like doing ABCs and stuff, and I learned how to actually, all the steps and shit like that, And what was funny to me is that the only difference is that now I could be louder at parties. Like the skill is not fucking marketable, you know what I mean? So it was like a waste of like $60.
What am I gonna do with this?
Yeah, like
It's a cool party trick.
Yeah.
and I'll tell people stories like, you can't fucking scream, bro, and then I'll
You're
do
like,
it, and they're
"Watch
like,
me."
bro, that's cool. It's kind of loud though. Can you shut the fuck up? So
Yeah, well, it just came from like, whenever people ask me like, how did you learn? It's literally just boils down to like you just sit there and make noises until it doesn't hurt.
Yeah.
And it's like it's almost like riding a bike. It's like you do it wrong until you don't.
Right.
And then once you do it right, like you can't go back.
Right.
Like I can't go back to the old way that I used
well,
to scream.
and you have a style to you that's unique, and I think that actually plays into the band as well. But you guys don't I don't think that. How should I put it? I don't think that it ever has like a time when it backs off. And I think like, you know, you guys are on what, your sophomore album, right? Do I have that right?
Yes.
Sophomore album. So this will now
Freshman,
be your,
sophomore, yeah.
yeah. So you guys.
It's been a while since I've heard
really
those
just have
terms.
to
Yeah, I
Fingers?
know. Well, I've been out of high school for a while now, so
Put them together. So I think I'm really looking forward to you guys' junior album because I think it's going to be cool to see like after the tours and shit like that. Because this is the biggest tour. Or what's the biggest tour you guys have done so far? This was 2.5 weeks every fucking day.
we
Right?
did
Just about?
28 days last year.
Damn.
Which was
And that
With
brutal.
one
was
day
brutal.
off.
I don't
No
know that
way.
we'll
And we
do
spent
that
it
again.
driving, the one day off that we had. So it wasn't even a day off.
And trying to not be
No,
too
we
drunk.
did
You're like, we
laundry,
need to
too.
drink a little bit.
Yeah.
We
least
did laundry too on the day off.
We did.
That
On the
that
drive though, because
productive.
if you did, I need you guys to make a metal video about that. You know.
About doing
Doing laundry
laundry.
on tour.
Oh, man.
scoops of the detergent.
Right.
Something in the car. I don't
You might be
know.
onto something. Mark
might.
might.
That's
See?
the thing. We're not afraid to do some
Guys.
weird video.
I've been saving this for you guys. I have a challenge.
Okay.
It's going out on the internet. Okay.
All right.
Adele's Hello.
A what?
Adele.
Adele's Hello.
Hello.
Oh.
It's me.
We actually recorded that,
Oh yeah, my sister sang in it.
and we never released it.
What?
I don't know why. It just didn't. I don't know. Like
This was back whenever I didn't even know what EQ stood for.
Bro,
So,
I send this to
Wait,
somebody.
really?
Don't think I do either, bro.
dude, everything that we did post like Metal Kitchen, I had no idea what anything meant. Like in a DAW, I didn't even know what a DAW stood for.
Right.
I didn't know what it did.
Bro, I just
like,
learned that like a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
What's up, man? I'm in it. I'm in it right here.
You
I'll
are
show
in
you,
it.
dog.
So yeah, I think we actually had that one recorded, and I was like, God, this is so awful. We just cannot release it.
maybe we can revisit it.
Maybe.
Yeah, no,
If
it
I
was
s-
it was an
Just
idea.
for him.
Yeah, see, oh,
Yeah, we got
oh.
to.
But I think you guys would do something cool like that because like I mean you guys fuck like when I'm on the goddamn podcast I forget everything. So the actual Suicide Silence cover you guys just put out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like in that same vein, you know, you guys are gonna start to like you're gonna cause ruckus. Those guys couldn't have not heard you guys do that.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Has anybody reached out to you from
Nope.
those guys?
No.
That's
no.
what's so annoying.
It's like,
Nobody
the anchors,
reaches out
nobody
to
wants
us.
anything
What?
to do with us.
No.
Oh.
Yeah.
Like, oh, it was the anchor.
They're
fuck
like-
them.
Yeah, like look at these plebs using our stuff.
Well, I think it's because it's scary. Like, you know, because we've like spent so many hours talking about this, and I think it like we're in uncharted territory. You know, like we just don't play by rules at all.
Well, and here's the thing too: is I
Right.
think there's a misconception about covers, especially in today's day and age. People think that you're trying to one up them
Right.
or do better than them, and that is 100% not the fucking
Yeah,
case.
especially with fucking Suicide, bro, because
Yeah.
like, they mean so much to so many
Mitch
metalheads.
Lucker
it's
was like
ridiculous.
amazing.
Yeah.
And Eddie, as much as I didn't like his last album, he's a phenomenal vocalist.
Absolutely.
Really is.
Yeah.
And he crushes Mitch.
I'm
Sorry.
surprised you just said that in
And
a public,
he's-
public area.
The last album was
Somebody's
bad,
gonna
but
throw
we
hands.
saw that guy. We saw that guy live. He is so good.
Well,
He's
so-
unbelievable.
So his jam, the one they put out before this last weird one, the Gretchen or what was it called, Doris.
Yeah.
Before Doris,
Mhm.
I love you, Suicide, but Doris was weird as fuck. But the one before that, you know, when they spit that out, the Diamond Crusher song was written by Mitch and then but actually spit out.
Ah.
And what I thought was amazing is just like you could hear him trying to like, this is for you, dog. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
You can hear
yeah.
it in his
Yeah.
reach and shit. And I felt the same way with you. And I got to give you credit on your lows because that's
Thank you.
the meanest lows of it. You can't leave me hanging. What the hell?
Oh,
Come on.
sorry, I
Just because
did-
they can't see the
I thought you were,
knuckles.
like,
no.
power
Oh,
stance.
I'll power stance as well.
I'm sorry.
No, mad kudos to all you guys because you guys.
Thank
I mean,
you.
I just can't. I mean, the drums alone, man. Like now, she's gearing up. She's getting better at screaming. Are you doing the same thing? Do you feel like your skill has been getting to the point because you're on this? You're fucking focused on now. Even though Suicide isn't looking at you guys yet, but people are they're paying you to play places. You got picked up by your guys' label. So do you feel like your drumming had to step up as well?
Well, I actually joined the Anchor recently in September.
Eat
of
that microphone.
2000 I joined in
There you
September
go.
of 2017,
yeah.
and I was kind of in a smaller local band trying to get them all to take things serious. And then a month later, I was recording for the Anchor, doing their EP and learning 10 songs. And it truly was. At first, even when I heard the songs, I was like, "Oh, I got this." But the difference of just being a drummer and being the timekeeper, where you know the band is completely depending on me not screwing up,
Right.
is very difficult. You know,
Sure.
like at first I was like, "Oh, this will be easy." Like 2 weeks in, I was like, "What the fuck am I gonna do?" Like, it was so hard, and like fills that were like, you know, even somewhat repetitive. I was having trouble like really focusing in and getting it perfect.
Sure.
And it was the hardest challenge I've had of
I mean,
practicing till my fingers were bleeding.
So do
he
you
had
feel like
2
it-
weeks to learn the album.
Oh,
to record it.
Because that's
And
like
so-
the
It took
bassist
me
from
to another
Metallica,
level.
right? The latest guy, what's his name? Trujillo from Metallica, the newest guy.
Trujillo, yeah.
They threw that some bit. No, can't be Danny. Is it Danny?
I think it's
Danny's
Danny.
the actor. That's the actor. He's the
Oh yeah. No, yeah, that's my
right.
check day.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, it's Danny Trejo. That's Danny
Trejo. Yeah. Okay. Cool. There we go.
I met homie at a Wex, bro. He's really short, but he's a nice guy. I love Danny. Shout out to you, Danny. But no, fuck, I'm all lost now. I went off on it. Oh, the Trujillo guy from Metallica. So he jumped in, bro, and he had like they were in the recording studio, and like he's in the room, like, you know, like trying to learn how to do the motions as well as the stage presence, the whole bit, bro. So shout out to you, man. That's awesome. So I mean, again, I'm gonna ask this the band here. Do you guys feel that? I mean, you couldn't have anybody else playing drums, right?
Oh,
I mean,
absolutely
this kid.
not.
No, hell no.
Yeah, you know, and that's my thing is like I see the next thing I see is like I follow these pages very closely for different bands where the drummer is like sponsored by like fucking Zildjian or something, and all they do is just play the drums and then they film that shit, bro. I need to see some of that action. I need to see some of that top down action of watching your skill,
That
bro. Because
top-down action.
you know what I mean?
That top down.
Top
You know,
I mean, if you want to take my cell phone from me tonight and film a song, I'll do
dude,
that.
I'll do you one better. I'll pull my DSLR out, bro. Watch it. Watch it.
Okay,
Watch
that
it.
works for me.
Cool. All right.
We're gonna do some drum covers here too in the
it-
next little bit.
It's definitely something I had been wanting to do. I mean, I had like a solid 2 months of pulling my hair out trying to be good enough for the Anchor, and I like to think I'm pretty close to good enough now, but
Adam, you're good enough.
You get-
okay, so I'm good enough.
Okay.
But I kind of took a break.
You've
and
reached
just-
that point, bro.
Yeah,
there it is.
just taking a break and enjoying playing the shows, and I think, you know, now that we're not going to be on tour, I'm going to have to grind and really put out some more content.
That's awesome, bro. Yeah, we look forward to it, man. And anything you get, even if you guys open up your own fucking channels, doing your own stuff, I mean, we try to share, but of course, now that you guys are on the cast, like, please, just tell me when you're doing it. You know,
Yeah,
like, if you guys are
definitely.
putting something out, I'd love to reshare and be another voice for it.
Yeah.
Sir, talk to me back there. You got a microphone, yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm here.
I'm here.
I am here.
He's the
Who we
quiet
talking
one.
to? Talk to me.
It's Ryan, the guitar player from the Anchor.
Ryan, the guitar player from the Anchor.
Yeah, I'm,
They can't see you. Dog, they can't see you. I got to introduce you when you come on. You know,
I'm
you know.
I'm stoked to be playing some hometown shows. So it's fun. We had
Yeah.
a blast on the road.
I didn't even talk about where the fuck we are, actually. So where are we and what are we doing right now?
We're in Colorado Springs. It's about an hour south of where we all live in Denver. Beautiful area, Legends Rock Bar tonight. And yeah, we're stoked. We've been here a couple times, and it's neat because it's kind of a scene that's sort of independent from Denver. So you get a different crowd than the hometown crowd.
Sure.
But they're still close enough that, you know, if we put on a big show in Denver, they'll drive up for that. So
Right.
it's good. It's kind of like an in-town, out-of-town show.
And you guys, I mean, are you guys getting kind of fangirled a little bit? Are you guys getting like a crew that rolls around at all following you guys? Like, especially these closer ones? You guys have
Oh,
people
yeah.
that, yeah?
That's a Keenan question.
That's like, uh-oh.
He's passing the torch.
That was a
that's me. That's a-
beautiful segue,
That's
sir.
a me question.
Right here. Give me some knuckles across the...
Yeah, we got, so, I mean, it's not really fangirls. Most of them are boys, so they're more fanboys.
Fanboys, yeah.
Hey, bro.
And they all like me the most.
I'll like...
So,
Keenan's got the prettiest eyes.
So
no,
Keenan,
we
talk to me,
there's
man.
a lot of you know, they're not really even fans. Most of them, you know, because most of them started off as fans of our music, and they started coming to multiple shows and, you know, via multiple conversations over and over again, and just getting to know these guys. You know, a lot of them have just worked their way into our lives, and they're
Yeah.
like into our friend zone. I can't think of a better way to say that.
Like family, dog.
But
They're
yeah,
like
they're
family.
the family
Yeah,
zone.
yeah.
Family
Yeah,
zone. How about that?
we friend zone all of our fans a lot.
That's what we do here at the Anchor.
Does that mean I get to come into the home?
You're in the friend zone.
Absolutely.
You guys are the best.
You're already in the friend zone.
Yeah.
So, no, the reason why I say so is we kind of touched on this earlier is there's community involved with metal bands, more likely than not, and I think a lot of people don't know that, and if you guys don't like metal, then you don't like fucking metal. Who cares?
Yeah.
But a lot of times it's hard to find metal bands that are actually, you know, in areas that are accessible. For me, I drove from Albuquerque to get up here, you know, and be able to see you guys, but the fact you guys are able to sit down with me, you're not too cool for that, you know what I mean? And that's huge, man, and I really respect you guys for doing that. And Keenan, what do you do, man? What is your place in the band? Talk to me.
Oh, I'm the bassist.
Did I
I
fucking-
thump around,
did you say that?
I
dance
think
around.
you said that. Maybe.
I don't know.
That's
Yeah,
all right.
I kind of lose track of stuff. So
He also fixed things.
I fix things. Yes.
Are you like the
I'm
IT guy, bro?
fixer.
No, he's the
not
mechanic.
I'm the mechanic.
Oh, nice. Who's
Yeah.
the IT guy?
I don't know, really.
Ryan?
Ryan, maybe?
Ryan's the financial advisor.
Ryan.
Yeah, I'm the finance guy. But
I guess me and Corey do all the social media stuff.
No,
so
you
I
can't have
guess we're
Slim
kinda-
Jims. We need gas,
Yeah.
right? You're that guy, right?
He's probably that guy.
There you go.
sorta, yeah.
Yeah, a
Then
little
when
bit.
he's like, I'm tired, let's go to Holiday Inn. Then he's not really pinching
Right?
pennies.
Then he's looking in the wallet. He's like, we don't have enough. We're driving to the rest.
That's the only thing we know for sure we can count on with Ryan is that if we bring up hotel room, like we're in.
He will lay down the deciding vote. Be like, yep, we're doing it.
That's legit.
And it's always a yes from me because I'm pampered on tour.
That's legit. So Corey, talk to me, man.
What's up?
What is your task
I'm
in
the
said band?
guitarist, and I do like. Actually, I just gave Keenan Instagram.
That's true.
Oh yeah, I just
So-
took over Instagram.
Shit.
He
So.
covers Instagram now.
Nice.
And that's why Instagram currently sucks, is because I covered it. And
But it's
so now,
getting better.
now that I've
Guys.
given it over, it's getting better.
Can I introduce you guys to a tool? It's called Buffer. You ever been to buffer.com?
Nope.
You can say
Sounds
one
dirty.
post and yeah, right. It's dirty. It's dirty and what it can do. You take one post or posts and you can say, I want to post this on Twitter and Facebook and Instagram all at fucking once, and you can schedule it and it's free.
Holla.
Yeah,
Nice.
so that's how Perch of Birds looks like. I got a whole crew, but really,
It's
one guy.
just you.
It's one guy, dog.
Just you know.
I'll do it all on a Sunday. My wife's like, get the fuck off the computer. I'll do.
I'm like the mad scientist in the band. So I'll come out with the crazy ideas, and then my band kind of reels me back in. And they're like, "We don't have $5,000 right now, bro." And I'm like, "Yeah, but
But go
if
find
we
it.
did."
Look, we can't do a YouTube video while you're skydiving. It just can't happen, all right? Slow down.
Yeah. So I usually what happens is I come up with a crazy ass idea, and I present it, and we try to do it, and then I realize that I was fucking crazy, and we do like a quarter of it. But that, and that's
That
why we get a
quarter's
lot
good
of our
enough.
good
Sometimes
content.
it
Yeah.
works.
But you got, hey,
Sometimes
but
it
look,
works.
how many times can you guys say it's fucking hard to keep a band together, bro? So the fact that you guys can all be like, yes, that's hard enough. I'm
Yeah.
sure choosing the band, you guys were like, come on, just
Yeah.
choose it. I don't care.
Yeah.
Put your vote.
Yeah.
So I got to, so I'm going to rope it back in because I know our time is dwindling here. So I have a question on some old and then on some new. So Skeptic, what was the inspiration for this song? And it's, in my opinion, these are all my fucking opinions apparently, truly an uplifting jam. It's very positive, and that was one of the things that drew me to you guys because, of course, it was one of your guys' bigger songs. But Skeptic, where'd it come from?
So Skeptic was actually the first song that I wrote lyrics for
Okay.
the Anchor. So that's kind of like my special song. But at the time of whenever I was writing it, I was kind of going through just like this, I guess, like internal battle between like balancing like, do I pursue the band or do I pursue a career, or and I had like so many outside forces like telling me like you should be going a certain way, and I gotta eat it.
It's okay.
But I had outside
Just don't
forces.
scream in it when you get it there.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
natural position and shit.
I
you
can't
know
help
that.
it. But like I had like
Sorry,
family
go
and
ahead.
things like saying like you should go to school, you should get a career, like this is the path that we want you to go down. But then like the other side of me is like your heart's telling you like the other side of you that like feeds your soul, and like I wanted to pursue that as well. And I guess it really boiled down to like I needed to really find what it meant to be me and like what made me happy, and just what I wanted to do with my life. And that line of like what I am lies in me, that's kind of like I need to make this decision for myself, and I need to understand that like the courage to like push through something that's really unknown when everybody's telling you to do the exact opposite is really scary.
Right.
But you need to find like the strength within yourself to be able to just do what it is that you need to do,
That's awesome. And this is well before the Anchor was the Anchor. I
Yeah,
mean, right.
yeah.
Okay. So this is a time when it's not like a viable money-making position.
No,
This
not at
was
all.
before Metal Kitchen.
Yeah.
Right, right.
This
'cause
song
my
was
mom would
written
be
before
like,
Metal
Dude,
Kitchen.
seriously, like pay some rent, get the fuck off my couch. You know what I mean? So I
Exactly,
get that. Yeah, yeah.
there's a way that like your parents want you to be successful. They want
Yeah.
you to like have a good life, and
Right.
I have a super overbearing dad that like really wants to see me like have the white picket fence and everything.
Yeah.
And, like he's supportive, but the band thing is really.
How did he take the band thing? I mean,
He's warming up to it.
Okay.
He's getting there.
Okay.
But it's you want to make your family proud, and you want to make
Sure.
your friends and the people around you really proud, but you also like want to pursue the things that you love, and
Yeah.
what is a quality of life if you don't love what you're doing?
you have truly put that into your song. I want you to know that. I think
Yeah.
it's amazing.
Well,
yeah,
thank you.
I mean it's hard to capture that. Like I said, most metal songs are like fucking kill, death, rape. Pirate ships.
Yeah, yeah.
Like it's fucking awesome. But like I love to hear the same anger, but it's in a positive direction. It never happens.
Well,
so.
there's too much negativity, I feel like, in the world, and it's rather than writing music that brings people down, we want to uplift people, and whenever people come to our shows, we try to leave them with feeling different in a positive way, and for 45 minutes while they're watching our set, that they feel good, and that the things that are going on in their life don't matter within that time. Like, that's our job.
So then that was a lot of things going on. Then I feel like the hardest part. Mm-hmm. What happened there?
So the hardest part, just to kind of clear this up because this might get confusing, the woman in the mom video was actually his stepmom.
Huh.
Okay.
Corey's
segue into that.
Corey's
stepmom.
Okay.
Yeah,
right,
Corey's
right,
stepmom.
Right.
So hardest part was actually about my mom, who struggled immensely with drug addiction.
Wow. Okay.
And that song was just kind of like mourning over just kind of the loss of that relationship. And, it's just kind of dealing with, trying to let go of that anger with her drug addiction and being able to forgive and move on and, put out there that, like, I understand the pain that she's gone through, and, like, I can really feel, everything that she feels, and, just trying to let go. And
it seemed incredibly personal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so that's why I had to touch on it, because I felt like it almost seemed, and I could be wrong on this, did you get emotional in the recording?
Oh my God. It was like they had to leave the room
Yeah.
when I was tracking it. Because it's just,
because I heard a spot where it sounded like your voice cracked a little bit, but it was done almost with perfection, you know, as much as it could be.
So the last half of that song is all one take.
Yeah.
That's what
it wasn't even rehearsed.
The entire last half of it.
That's awesome.
And we really wanted to have that song specifically to just be the most emotional, like, captivating thing that we possibly could.
Wow.
And that was the only way that we could do it, was just the last half of it is all one take.
What was huge is, like, if you look at Lamb of God, before they were Burning Priest, right? Mm-hmm. And their first album they put out, which wasn't their first album, it was like that one that they re-encapsulated. Some of those songs, like, and I'm not talking shit about Randy at all, or Lamb of God, or Burn the Priest, whatever, but there was the producer and shit and the band throwing chairs and fucking screaming at him and hitting the booth while he's doing that to build him up. People had to leave the room for you to do it, you know what I mean? So that goes to show you, like, the real the passion behind that, you know what I mean? So kudos to you for that.
Thank
for putting
you.
your heart on a sleeve, because that's fucking I've heard that song a million times and I'm like, fuck yeah.
Yeah. Well, and what's so cool about it too is that even though, like, it's about something really specific for me, like, I've had tons of people come up to me saying, like, I lost this person in my life, or, I really related it to this, and it helped me get through that grief.
I bet that's fucking
grieving.
huge, dude.
Yeah. And, it's really humbling to know.
I didn't
that
catch it. Is your mom still with us?
She is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm sorry, and I didn't mean. I'm just
that's
saying.
Okay. I think people are kind of confused about that too, because they're like, is she dead? Is she not dead? And,
right.
But it got to a point that, like, it just was so bad that it just couldn't.
It's fucking genuine though, bro, and I'm glad that you can weaponize your fucking anger and, like, make it positive. Like, how many fucking people can really do that? You know, except for, like, the Tony Robbins types and shit, you know. So she's like the motivational Tony Robbins with a little bit of, little pig's
a little bit of brie in there.
I wrote some notes here, so I'm going to try to read them as quickly as possible to make this blend. We talked about Melissa Cross, the internet trolls. What are you guys listening to? What are you guys into? What does the anchor listen to?
Backstreet Boys.
Fuck yeah.
Dude, we were just jamming that, like, on the way home. Like, bah, bah, bah.
So we just introduced
that's NSYNC, isn't it?
We just introduced our kids. We have an 11-year-old, 7-year-old, 3-year-old, 2 Backstreet Boys and NSYNC, and the whole fucking era just fell on top of us. So now, like,
that's awesome.
It's like YouTube and shit, and I'll come in and I'll be like, no, like, Linzey Rae, I want my daughter to be a screamer, you know. So I'll try to put it
They're like, oh no, what have I done?
Yeah, you know.
She's like listening to Jessica
Right.
McCartney and Britney Spears.
Right,
now.
but she kills it on her, like, talent show dances. So she's definitely, it's all about it. But music, we go back to it. But what are you listening to right now? What's on your iPod? What's on your phone? Backstreet Boys for real?
She was
You're
not
even
kidding.
fucking
No, I'm not even kidding.
Right.
No.
I love Backstreet Boys and Britney Spears, but I also like really emo.
Okay.
So, like, I love My Chem, The Used. They make fun of me because every night my soundcheck song is Black Parade.
Nice.
So he'll get up on the mic before me and he'll start singing. I'm like, God damn it! Now I gotta do a different song. So then I'll do, like, Lady Gaga or some shit.
Nice.
So that's what I like.
I heard a Wicked Meshuggah cover of a Lady Gaga song, and it was see, I forget everything on the podcast. Whatever the fuck it was time to it was Bleed, I think is what it was. I don't know if you guys ever heard Bleed from Meshuggah, but that song is just fucking brutal. Like, they have issues recreating that song on stage because of just the timing on it. Mm-hmm. And this dude timed a Lady Gaga song perfectly to it, and I was like, it's fucking glorious. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's fucking glorious to find those beautiful little, like, the metal kitchen thing. Like, who the fuck thinks of that in an apartment in the middle of the night and is like, that's a stupid idea.
That
but look
is
what
retarded.
You did. Yeah, you know. So, okay, so what do you listen to?
So I normally do listen to a lot of heavy stuff, but ever since I've joined
Speak to me. Heavy what? What?
heavy, I really like Reflections,
Okay.
Old Chelsea Grin.
Nice.
I also really like Chon, those guys that
Okay.
they've come about recently. They're really cool, but
Niall, are you like that deep? Do you go that?
not really that
No?
heavy,
Okay.
but like ever since I joined the Anchor, I kind of wanted to be different than I didn't want to fit in a niche, so
Okay.
I kind of haven't been listening to much metal. I listen to a lot of Revolution, which is
I'm so proud
very,
of you.
they're
They're
very
so good. They're
a lot of
so
people
good.
make fun of them like it's a basic reggae band or whatever, but
Fuck that.
I don't care.
Yeah.
I have seen
They're so
I
good.
don't know how many shows.
Right?
Their fucking show in Red
Live?
Rocks was so
So good.
captivating. I didn't know what to
telling
do
you
with
right now.
myself.
Bringing out
Dude, I'm
horns
the
and
biggest
everything.
fan, dude. Yeah.
Their drummer actually put me on the guest list for their show at Red Rocks because
Oh.
I did a drum cover of one of their songs and I sent it to him. He like followed me on Instagram.
That's huge,
And
bro.
I was just short on cash, didn't buy the ticket, and then I just messaged him like, "Hey, the show just sold out. Is there any way I can buy a ticket from you? Like, I don't know if you get pre-sales or not." And
Yeah.
he just was like, "I'll put you on the guest list."
That's so cool, bro.
It was super cool of him, and
So-
I mean, just
so
the
yeah,
musical performance.
We're
was
huge on
unbelievable.
reggae, bro. Like if I'm one of two flavors, reggae and metal. I don't know, you know, it's weird, I guess, but but that's basically all we see. I've probably seen Pepper more fucking times
love
at sold out
Pepper.
shows. Like they just the entire crowd is in one wave,
my people.
like this, right?
My people.
Right? Like man,
awesome.
yeah, they are. But we saw Revolution. The one I'm waiting on is Tribal Seeds. So
They're
I
Oh,
really
they're
really
so
I've
good.
seen
so
them.
good, dude.
So good
so
live.
underrated.
They
I'm
kill
like,
it, dude.
man. So and maybe one day if you guys are on a sound check, maybe we can hear some reggae out of you guys. Come on.
I'll get
I
down.
can play some reggae.
Yeah, me and Ryan.
I don't know how to do
Me
that.
and Adam will mess around. and sing.
I mean-
Why does one sing reggae?
I think
Just sing.
you just do a little.
yeah, you just sing.
You guys just have to do the.
Yeah, it doesn't even need to be the right note.
Is that
You guys can
like
no,
a thing?
What you guys need is you need a guy on the keys to do the dink, 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 dink. It just does, that's all they do.
I'll
Is
do
just-
that.
We'll get Adam like a little steel drum, like dong.
I got a fever, and the only cure, well, cowbell. So Archspire, I've gotta recommend them. I've never fucking heard of them myself, but holy shit, mathcore, right? Like ridiculous, but Archspire, the dude, there's a machine gun, and the dude's lyrics keep up with the machine gun. It's like,
Sick.
yeah, and it's fucking ridiculous. So yeah, Archspire's one.
All right.
Yeah, can't
Cool.
lose
Writing
out.
that down now.
Yeah, right.
I really am. My phone is out right
Yeah,
now.
and like I was on Black Dahlia's page and I hit up Trevor. I was like, dude, have you ever heard of them? And he writes back, fuck yeah, since day one. I was like, damn, So, I'm hoping that hopefully I can on this one. I'm gonna introduce you guys to Trevor, see if I can't get them to bite. Have you guys ran into Black Dahlia at all?
I like that.
Yeah.
Actually, I had a run-in with
The old guitarist wanted
Sean Kempin.
Okay.
Kempler.
Okay.
He was their old guitarist.
Okay.
But he I totally dropped the ball on it, but he sent me 3 songs and was like, put vocals on it.
Wow.
And I was like, well, I don't know what you want me to write about. And it was like death and shit. And I'm like, I don't know how. I was like, and I legitimately tried, and I just was like, I'm not an angry person. I
Yeah.
just was like,
You guys heard it first. Linzey Rae is not an angry
I'm
person.
not. I'm just rainbows and butterflies.
I love it. I love it. So what else? Come on, guys. You give me something here. I just like to know what metalheads listen to. What are you guys listening to?
I'm the embarrassing one.
No, Backstreet Boys has already been had. What you
Oh,
got?
whatever.
No, no,
It's
no.
not embarrassing.
This tops that. I love the Gin Blossoms.
How is that bad?
They
Make fun of him
they
so
just
much.
put out a new album and it's fantastic, and I don't care what any of my bandmates say.
So Gin and Blossom, check them out. Shout out to Gin and Blossom. That is the last time you'll hear about that from this podcast. But I'm proud of you.
He was
What is
wearing
it? And Toad the Wet Sprocket. They'll probably be on a tour, bro. I'm sure.
Yeah, Vertical Horizon,
Yeah,
Tonic.
bro. There you go. My first show in New Mexico was Collective Soul. Yeah, you're right. Like that was the whole thing, and like that's one of those shows where everybody stands for like the harder parts, but then just the hand goes up. Yeah, and everybody's standing there. And like I come from
one singular fucking crowd
yeah,
movement.
And if you guys ever get attached to Joe Anderson Works, he owns 3 venues on Main Street off of Central in Albuquerque, and one of the best places to play is Sunshine Theater, and at Sunshine Theater, like you almost don't go there unless they're playing a reggae show or a metal show because it's one of those big pits, and then you got that little thing behind you where you can go up and drink beer if you're one of the over, but it's an all ages show, and those kinds of shows I feel like they're just so lost, you know what I mean? Because we saw them in like an auditorium and shit like that. when you guys are playing the shows that you have been on this tour, are you guys mostly playing divey spots, kind of like this bar that we have? God damn it! I just
it's
misspoke.
like
It's not a dive. It's a nice bar. I'm sorry. I had to correct myself. It's a nice
like
bar, but smaller.
Venues and bars were split, but like honestly, like we've had even last night in Topeka, like. Sometimes the bar shows are just off the chain.
Yeah.
Everybody goes there to get drunk at a bar.
Right.
Everybody goes to venues to see music, which
Alcohol
is fine.
and mosh pit.
But
Right.
the bar shows get crazy sometimes, and those are a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So
So you,
then, yeah,
you
we
guys
also
would
have
prefer
smaller
those?
venues.
You guys prefer?
I think we
yeah?
prefer the small shows.
Okay.
I think
Yeah, the small
What's
shows
hard
are-
though is that the small shows are usually 21 plus.
Right.
And like we have a lot of kids that follow us because of our
course.
YouTube channel, and we'll have the parents come out like, oh, we really wish you played an all ages show. But I guess like everywhere else, like the all ages thing is like really strict.
Yeah.
Like. It's just like in Nebraska
Yeah,
they need
okay.
like a parent permission. slip,
Sure.
and,
Are
like-
you fucking kidding me?
Yeah, it's serious.
Like if you're
yeah.
It
under
has to be
18.
notarized.
Have you
like-
checked in? Have you checked in? It's been 10 minutes.
Yeah.
I mean, like growing up, like when I needed to get into a show that was like 18 plus, like I would just come there with like my school ID and my cousin, who was like 18 and I was like 14 at the time.
Right.
I'd be like, yeah, I'm his guardian, and they would just
Right.
let me in.
Not
and they
anymore.
just
Now,
they draw
there's some
X's like on my
venues-
hands and on my face,
There's
Right.
some venues that
Right.
charge
You're
extra
not allowed.
money. There's some venues that charge extra money if you're under a certain age.
Or
like,
they won't serve alcohol, which
Yeah.
puts a huge gash in the draw because like
People
over
like to
21
drink.
don't want to go to a show
Yeah.
without drinking.
Right,
So it's
right,
like
right.
you get like
Lame.
the 6
Lame.
15-year-olds that are like, yeah, but
Right.
like that's it.
So I started a metal band called Fixius eons ago, and we rented that studio called Bleeding Eardrum in Albuquerque, right? We all played there. The youngest member of the band, the drummer, you fucking no shit, 14 years old, bro, and he could play clean as fuck. And we were covering Lamb of God. We were doing a lot of shit like that. And then we started to make, originals and stuff. The next guy was 15, the next guy 16, and then there was me at 18. We couldn't book a show fucking anywhere,
Yeah.
bro, because they would be like,
it's
they would
rough,
literally
man.
be like, wait outside. This is when you come on,
Yeah.
and then we'd all rush in and set our fucking gear up as fast as possible, and then get the fuck off the stage. Get the fuck off the
Fucking
stage.
kick you out the door.
Yeah. So okay, so I think we got into venues and shit like that, and I don't remember where the fuck I went on with that, but we're trying to figure out music. I only got as far as I only got that
That's
far.
Keenan's turn.
Talk to me. So what do you listen
Dude,
to?
I'm a punk kid at heart, man. I grew
Black
up
Flag?
on punk. Yeah, I love Black Flag.
Did you hear the
Um,
Joe Rogan Henry Rollins podcast?
Oh, I listen to that all the time.
Did you listen to
yeah.
what Henry Rollins?
Yeah,
It was
dude,
fucking
it's
legend.
fucking awesome,
That
dude.
dude's a
yeah,
nut,
it was
bro.
great, dude.
Sorry, I tangented. So
No,
Black.
you're good. Yeah, dude, I grew up a huge punk kid. Like my styles kind of changed. I went from like, hey, everybody look at me, I'm an outcast, to like, hey, leave me the fuck alone.
So he went from being obnoxious to crotchety.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
Okay.
Basically, yeah, I'm a little pretentious now.
That's cool.
Kind of,
But you
I'm
make
edgy.
you make a living at that, so that's
Yeah.
cool, bro. It
So,
works. I mean, that's
I
what
like,
a bassist
I like
needs.
a lot of old shit too. A lot of Cheap Sex and The Virus and Casualty stuff, but
Definitely
love,
a punk
like,
guy.
Leftover Crack and
Dog, you come off as a
Toxic
punk guy.
Holocaust
Yeah,
and
I feel it.
shout out to the Potato Pirates, local Denver punk.
Nice.
Love you guys.
Shout out Potato Pirates. That's fucking epic sounding.
Oh, they're great. You gotta check them out.
Cool, man.
I'm like,
He likes Jonas Brothers. Don't even lie.
I do. Like, I love
Direction.
One Direction, and like, but then like recently I've been listening to a lot of Upon a Burning Body. And
Such a
Amur.
change. It's beautiful.
Yeah, like Attila, like I love Attila. I love any band because this is what I like online. I'm all about like ruffling people's feathers and upsetting people. Like that's just what I do. That's what I'm good at. So like Franz is my hero, kind of. Not because of anything he says, but just because of like how awesome he is at marketing himself.
Yeah.
Amur is like, just the way that they've marketed themselves. Upon a Burning Body just put out the greatest.
Upon a Burning
album
Body's
I've
a
heard.
different animal, bro.
This
for
last
sure.
album they did was so good.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
good.
Holy crap, it was good. And there's not a lot of albums anymore that you can listen to
All right.
front to back and love
Let me-
every single song.
Let me throw this one on you. What about Rings of Saturn?
No.
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 Yes.
Oh,
No.
Yes,
Come
no,
on.
yeah, that's a yes.
Yeah.
I
No.
just because of how crazy it. I
Nuts.
can't even imagine
It's
attempting
ridiculous.
to
I
play.
don't
Yeah.
care about musicianship. I want some like
He likes entertainment.
I like
value.
entertainment value.
Okay.
He
I
wants
wanna
to
be
sing along.
entertained.
Right,
I could
okay.
give a shit how good you can play drums. I do
Right.
not care.
Right.
But if you can entertain me, you are the most entertaining person I've ever met. That's why, like,
He's like a man of 1,000 voices. He's
Yeah.
like
Yeah?
the Hubert the pervert. and,
Oh
like,
shit.
He's got all
Dude,
these voices.
We need to collaborate.
yeah, I love entertainment value. Whenever I go to a show, I want to be entertained. I don't care how good you can play your instrument because
Sure.
there's somebody better out there.
Yeah.
And
There
Like,
always is fucking
there's
somebody. There's always like a
somebody
college
better.
kid that you're like, how are you doing that?
Yeah,
bro?
exactly. And there's so many people better than me, and that might be why I'm like, you know what? I want to be entertained. I don't want to like look up to a guy and be like, I want to be as good as you, because I'll never be that good.
That's huge. This speaks to a lot of the direction you take when it comes to music writing, though,
Yeah,
because I'm sure that you know.
exactly.
Again, you guys don't want to. I feel like you guys don't want to be put into a rut to say I'm metalcore, so I'm fucking metalcore. Like,
yeah,
you know what I mean?
we want to tell stories, and I guess it's still entertaining, but we want to start like a movement or something like that of just like self-reflection,
I can see that.
self-help, stuff like that. And being really good at guitar is not going to help us do that.
I don't think so. I think that you're wrong in that sense, purely because you are attributing to the bigger picture, which is the anchor.
Yeah.
And the picture of the anchor is fucking positive as fuck, man.
Yeah.
You guys, you know what? I feel like if I was 18 and I was starting a metal band, if I'd had one of you guys around me, it might have let me keep that band going longer, because it's so hard to find other cats that are fucking out there doing positive shit and being like, hey, bro, let me hear what you got. You know what I mean? And actually jamming out. And you guys are here with two other bands that are trying to make it just as big. We're with the Varsity as well as
Elevated Sickness.
Elevated Sickness. I want to give a shout out before we got off the phone, but I feel, or off the podcast. But I feel like it's huge how you guys are able to individually collaborate and want to be different, but you guys are all you're able to come together with one consensual sound.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
that's epic. So the Anchor, guys. So you guys are on to your junior album. You guys are on to the end of a tour. When is the next tour? Do we know?
July.
Okay, so you're gonna get in the studio and tour.
Yeah, it's gonna be deep.
Damn.
gonna be
Do you guys do
super
anything
busy
else
summer.
No.
at all?
People ask us like, "What do you do when you're not in the band?" We're like, "Sleep."
Right. Try to eat some food, maybe.
Yeah,
I don't know. You know.
Try to have a social life.
Right. Well, you guys are.
Right.
Well, and I think you guys are doing really good, because I can't get a hold of fucking I don't know how many bands that they're not as big as you guys are, and it's just kind of interesting to me, because I'm like, hey, what's going on? Big ol' long text message, like, you know, I don't do copy pasta when I talk to people, because I like you to see how I am in person.
Yeah.
Through even the fucking text, like, this is how I talk, like, fucking big long thing. I really like your guys' stuff. You know, I've messaged other bands, they don't write back. You know what I mean? So again, it reinforces the fact that you guys are fucking genuine. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So.
And I mean, that's what music I think is losing, and now in metal mostly. Everybody's really concerned with getting signed, looking the part, being a touring musician or whatever, and like music never was supposed to be that. It never came from that.
Yeah.
Like music is about connecting with people,
Right.
and having communion with people
Don't you
at
start
shows.
with that.
No.
They said I used the wrong word.
Community.
No,
Community.
it's a whatever.
By
We looked
definition,
up, we
you're
looked up,
right,
we
but
looked
you're
up the
still
definition
wrong.
yesterday, and I was right.
Just shut your mouth. Keep going.
I'm having I have some
Shut up,
Anchor
Corey. Shut up,
communion.
Corey.
I have some Anchor
this
communion
right
when
here
I
is
turn it
communion.
on.
Like the sharing
I'm
of
just trying to jump on, you know, help out.
the sharing of, you know, one common belief, one common idea, and that's what music is, and it is not that anymore in the metal community, and that fucking sucks.
I love it. Well, you guys are the second coming of that. Third,
Hopefully.
fourth, wherever it is, you're now the 2018 version of that coming.
Yeah.
And you guys better fucking keep doing it for 27, 29, 80 years, whatever.
Hopefully.
Fucking.
Yeah. 80
Bring
years.
it on.
80 years. I don't
So
think people like seeing me screaming when I'm 80.
107,
And then
109.
80.
I don't know.
Oh,
We might have like robot bodies by then or
Yeah,
something.
right.
So.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. You just need vocal cords, right? You just need fingers,
Then
fingers,
if I get a
eyes.
robot body, I can play Rings of Saturn stuff.
There you go.
There
yeah.
you go.
Yeah, you know.
Goals.
I'll get you a drum machine. I said it.
Never.
Never. Not on a single song, right? No, all right. He says no. He says no. I'm
machines are
proud of you.
bad.
Machines are
He doesn't even use triggers.
Damn.
He's such an elitist.
Really?
I mean, there are people that use triggers for the right reasons as far as like blending or whatnot, but like I've seen just so many drummers that, you know, they got a trigger and that's it on the kick, and they just got these little twinkle toes.
Right, and I've seen some amazing drummers, bro, that don't have that skill. You know what I mean? Like you watch.
I got a heavy foot.
It's fucking. Is it Adler? Adler from Lamb of God. Have you ever watched his feet?
Yeah.
I mean, it looks like a dance. It's just forward and back, forward and back, forward and back. And then you get the guys that cheat and they fucking do the tippy toes, you know, and they do the, like you said, the little fancy, you know, Flintstones thing.
Twinkle toes.
Yeah. I'm proud of you. For
Yeah, I
sure,
mean,
bro.
So are we.
I don't like triggers, you know. They have their uses, just not for me.
Sure. And then you guys don't bump any part of your music, right? Your vocals are you, right? Your vocals are
it's
you.
all fake.
It's all fake.
It's all fake.
There it is. I got it.
Confession from Linzey Rae. It's all fake.
Who's the crazy German band?
Rammstein.
No, keep going. They're in your guys' style. Oh, I'm not gonna be able to think of it. Heaven Shall Burn. Tell me that motherfucker doesn't sound like they boost his vocals.
I don't know. It definitely does, being that he actually sounds like part demon.
He
in
sounds
some
like
of it.
part fucking demon. It sounds like two people on that microphone, and I've done. So I've like literally like slow played stuff back and been like, I'm telling you, bro.
Conspiracy.
Yeah.
Illuminati confirmed.
Yeah, you know.
That was actually one of my first. I got like 3 albums in high school that my friend burnt for me. It was like Hawthorne Heights, Heaven Shall Burn, and Killswitch Engage.
Oh, I'm so proud of your
Those
friend,
were like
bro.
my first 3 albums
dude.
ever that had anything to do with metal. And so Heaven Shall Burn is like super close to my heart.
That's
like,
amazing, right here, bro.
Love
so the
that band.
Deftones DVD, okay, and the Heaven Shall Burn DVD of their tours. The B-sides and rarities from it was like on fucking repeat at our house, bro. Outlaw and Lamb of God, but you know, I mean, duh, you know. And then the Pantera home videos. Come on. So I'm waiting for the vlog when you guys got some, you know, something's gonna come up. It's not gonna be the Blacktooth Grin. Are you guys savvy with the Pantera home videos at all? No. They had a drink that they you know, and the Blacktooth Grin was the drink. So I'm wanting to see if you guys, the Anchor has something. Yeah,
It'll be like the Sunrise Special.
It'll be the foo-fooest thing that you've ever had in your
the
You wanna be able to
the
taste the
unicorn
alcohol.
sunrise.
It'd be like less potent than Mike's Hard.
One thing Corey always does, no matter what, if we're drinking at their place, he has a Pyrex cup so that he can measure out all the alcohol and all the soda, so he doesn't get a bunk drink or anything and gets the perfect amount.
And I
of
just drink out of that. It's way easier.
You're a certain. It was really good talking to you guys.
Yeah.
I know that we got, I mean, I'm sure we got a little bit more time. If we find anything else to talk about, we can get you guys on the mic. But I feel like all my questions are ate up. You guys got anything for me? I know the podcasting life seems so amazing. You guys want to ask me? All the glamorous pictures.
I just want to say thank you for coming to hang out with us.
Fuck yeah, dude.
It was a good time to sit out here and chat, you know?
Yeah, for sure, man.
Yeah,
well,
this is
thank you
fun,
guys.
man.
Thanks for driving from New Mexico.
Fuck yeah, man.
Like, you're the
Holy
real
crap.
MVP of the
Yeah,
night.
no,
seriously.
you guys just drove from where? Like, I don't even think we
Yeah,
talked
but we
about the
live
tubes.
here. Like, we
Topeka.
have to
Yeah,
go
it's not
this way
really the
anyways.
same.
That's true.
Like we all went to our own
Yeah.
houses before
Yeah.
this and like showered and took naps.
Well,
and
Totally
stuff,
not the
so.
same.
I'll tell you guys, I work 9 to 5 in IT, and I do the podcasting on the side, and I listen to music. I have an hour-long drive back and forth to work, so I listen to music and podcasts. And you guys, honestly, I'm fangirling hard, and you guys have no idea. But like, I got
Well, you're keeping it under control.
right, yeah.
You're doing a good job. Your armpits are sweaty, though.
Even through the black shirt, he sees it. I know. I'm sorry. I put a cup down there. But we'll empty it. It's okay. No, but I think you guys are definitely onto something, and I really want to see you guys continue. And if you guys do something in the future where you guys want to drag me out, fucking, I'm game. I'm
definitely.
game. We'll come out there.
I know
Let you
in
know when,
January we're going through New Mexico. So
Oh, fuck yeah, dude. Oh, yeah. I'm there. Oh, yeah. For sure.